Hi again, YouTube. I thought I'd come on and answer a question that a viewer asked me. This is Erica from the Company of Cards. And I know I did the reading earlier today on Marshawn's sentencing of 45. I said in the beginning of the reading that I think that Marshawn just wanted this off his plate. I looked hard under every rock to see if I could see jail in 45's future, and I did not. And as it happens, Marshawn has indicated that 45 will not, in fact, be penalized with a jail sentence. Or house arrest for that matter, because I mean, how are you supposed to do that? And he's going to be the next president of the United States. Anyway, it pays to run out the clock, I guess, right? 45? I did have a viewer ask me, this is what Wild Wisdom Journeys asked, if I could look at whether or not countries which have as a policy um, not allowing felons, foreign felons, into their countries, whether that same policy will hold for 45, who, as the President of the United States, will need to meet with foreign leaders. That's going to be interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll use the ship. Yeah, I'll use the ship, and the ship will stand for 45's travel as president this second time around to countries that do not allow foreign felons on their land, on their territory. So let's just see what the cards will tell us. But we're going to look for the ship. All right. Okay. So this stands for 45's travel to countries which do not allow felons on their soil. So we have the coffin, we have the heart, we have the travel card, we have mice, and we have the fox. Now, by the way, the fox, one of the fox's meanings is foreigners. So that's interesting. Uh, so we have this coffin card, and I can mirror it with this. Well, yeah, I told you what the cards are, I think. The coffin, the heart, the ship, the mice, the fox. Um, I can mirror this coffin card with that box card here. So that's interesting. It feels as though these countries will feel themselves stuck between a rock and a hard place, in a box, so to speak, is how these nations will feel because he's the president of the United States, or will be, unless a miracle occurs. Uh, now, this is an interesting card, the heart. It's the card for love. And as Tina Turner would say, well, what's love got to do with this question? I can mirror this heart with the mice. So I'm going to say this, much as foreign nations would love to have whoever the leader of the United States is come and visit, this particular president, for all of the reasons, fills them with trepidation, anxiety. And specifically, I mean, again, for all the reasons, but specifically in regard to this reason, because nobody wants to look like a hypocrite. Oh, yeah, none of you felons can come in, but that felon, Yeah, move the cord because they can come in. Mm. So you know what? Let's pull some clarifiers on this. I'm going to pull clarifiers on the ship. Here, I'll let you see. I'm going to pull clarifiers on the mice, and I'm going to pull clarifiers on this fox. I mean, it's a really good question. Uh, so this is his travel abroad, and we have clouds, we have fish, and we have cross. I mean, so this is the travel. I think that there will be some countries for whom travel for him will be problematic, questionable. Um, the fish is about money. So, you know, I guess everything has its price in the world of Musk and 45. In this new world run by oligarchs. So maybe for the right price, there are countries who will make exceptions. I'm not sure. Um, and then we have this cross here. I mean, this is painful. It's painful to not have the US president be able to make these trips. What, they're supposed to always come over here? Come on. I mean, that's not how you do these kinds of things. That's not how diplomacy is done. But then again, we've never had an actual convicted felon as our president. So this is painful. This MICE card, remember, which is anxiety, worry, trepidation on the part of these countries to make this decision. And the clarifiers are the House, the whip, and the letter. I mean, it's as though they'll all have to come here, which is ridiculous, or meet in some neutral country that doesn't have that regulation. It's going to be annoying and problematic and really a bother to people. Um, but this is their rule. They don't want to look hypocritical when they don't let any other felon in. So this is really, I would not want to be in their position of having to decide this. So here they are. These are the foreign nations who have this ban. Remember what the book is about, things that people don't know, things we don't know, things that are secret or hidden or just unknown and unknowable right now. Um, but they have to figure it out really fast because he's coming. Uh, I think a lot of these countries haven't figured it out yet. But I will say that I find it interesting that I can mirror the card for 45, which is the last card in the reading, with the coffin. I think he will find himself, to the extent possible, and that's a big caveat, shunned, shunned relative to other leaders because of who he is and what he's done. I think he'll be shunned. I think there will be nations that say, yeah, you can't come here. We'll come there, but you can't come here. I think it will be a great humiliation for him. And normally I would say that's fine, except that it also is a humiliation to the United States. So I think these decisions will be made on an individual basis. I think there will be some countries that will not let him in. They'll say, oh, no, we'll come to your place. Um, and I think there may be others who, you know, if the price is right, whatever that price might mean, will let him in. But it will be a humiliation for as long as he is the president. And as I have said, and entertainment purposes only, YouTube, I do not think it will be for 4 years. Okay. I just don't. All right. Speaking of things financial, uh, I wanted to look at the deal that has been scuttled. The deal for Nippon Steel, which is the Japanese steel magnet company, to buy US steel. Nippon Steel really wanted the deal. So did the people who own US Steel. However, the steel workers in the United States did not want this deal to go through. So Biden has disallowed the deal. He has scuttled the deal so that the deal doesn't go through. Now, that's all well and good, but Biden's days on yeah, behind the Resolute desk, of course, are numbered. So the next logical question will be, well, what's 45 going to do? Now, 45 has gone on record also as being against this deal. I would argue that it's because he wanted to gain the votes of the American steelworkers who were against the deal. But now that he is incoming, I guess he thinks he can do whatever he wants. So I'm just curious, what will 45 do once he is behind the Resolute desk in regard to this purchase? Will he allow it or not? Um, so I think what I'll use is, hmm, let's see, for the deal, I'll use um, I'll use the letter that can stand for the bill of sale. And we want to know under 45 what will happen with that proposed sale of US Steel to Nippon Steel. Okay, so we're looking for the letter. Oops. Okay, so this stands for the deal, which again has been scuttled. Will something different be done when 45's in charge again? I'm going to pull a couple of clarifiers, but just so you know, the five cards are the mice, the tree, the deal, the bear, which will stand for 45, and my scales card. Okay, I'm going to draw clarifiers on the deal, the bear, and the letter. I mean, and the scales. Sorry. Mm. Okay, so when I look at the line of five, you know, um, 45 is nervous. He doesn't know what to do. I can mirror it with the last card, which is scales. He's weighing things. This could bring a lot of money in, but then he'll lose the goodwill of the Steelworkers Union if he still has that. Um, he's a deal maker, he loves to make a deal, he says. Uh, but he's anxious about this. Um, the tree, you know, he's thinking about what is the long-term uh, significance of this for me, 45 is thinking. You know, what is the better part of not valor, but what is the better part of self-interest long term for me in this situation? So I pulled cards on the deal, and we have the whip, we have the young woman, and we have the lily. So I think that one of the things that he'll want to do is sweet talk one side or the other, right? So, like, let's say he really wants to sell, then he'll try to sweet talk the workers into why this is such a great thing. Um, if he doesn't think that that's the right way to go with that scales card, he'll try to sweet talk the Japanese. I don't know, but at any rate, this whip it means this is tough. Everybody who wanted the sale, obviously, is disappointed. Um, and and I think there'll be a lot of arguments back and forth on what 45 should do about this. Now, this is 45, and remember, he loves to have people love him. So this is him. He's a narcissist, entertainment purposes only, but he loves to be loved. He loves to be loved and he loves to be liked. So, I mean, if this is Janet Yellen, I don't think was for the deal either. I think the issue is what Biden says is that it's a national security risk to sell U.S. steel to Nippon Steel. I gather that Janet Yellen agrees. I don't know if Janet Yellen can keep her position, whether 45 will have somebody lined up to take her place. Um, but I can mirror these two, and he'll want to be the boss of her. I'm just going to say. But he's also going to want to come out smelling like a rose. People be happy with him. So here we have the scales card, decisions, decisions, crossroads, dog, and ring. Now, a ring is a contract, a deal, so to speak. And I think he will try to broker a deal himself. Who knows how that's going to go? And it will be some sort of uh, uh, Solomonic splitting of the baby, alternate type plan that he'll come up with because of course he wants everybody to like him. He wants Japan to like him. He wants the owners of US Steel who want to make a lot of money like him, and he wants the steel workers to like him. So he will try some sort of Solomonic thing um, to make everybody think that he's their friend. But really, I mean, this is a deal, but I can mirror it with the first card. This last card, I can mirror it with the first card, mice. So I don't think that this deal that he tries to make will hold. I don't think it'll hold. All right, that's my take on that. Then I thought I would look at a couple of sort of trivial, gossipy kind of questions. The first is the fact that there's a lot of speculation that Meghan and Harry, the Sussexes, are sort of wending their way towards divorce. And people say this because Henry's been spending a lot of time in the UK, and because Meghan has just started up her Instagram, and she has a Netflix series that's coming out. Um, and a lot of people say, oh, look, he's going to be there, she's going to be here, they're going to get a divorce. When meanwhile, it could just be a simple case of they're not going to be up under each other all the time. And she has her work to do. He has his work to do. They've realized that that sort of Sussex brand thing with the two of them is not really, it's a non-starter kind of here in the US. So I would like to look at the state of their marriage. So the card that I'm going to use, we've seen it a minute ago, is the ring, and that stands for their marriage. I just like to look at the state of their marriage because, I'm nosy. By the way, I am also, in case anybody cares, I am Team Meghan and Harry. Just saying. Okay, so let's look and see how their marriage is doing. Looking for the ring. Okay, So we have the scythe, we have the dog, we have the ring, we have the sun, and we have this older man card. I really want to say that this older man card stands for Charles, who, as we know, is ailing. Um, and I think I'll pull some clarifiers because, why not? Yeah. I'll just pull one clarifier for each card. Okay. So the clarifier that I have for the scythe. Now, the scythe, remember, is an instrument that cuts, right? Because there's a blade, but there's a curve in the blade. So it's also an instrument that gathers in, like you gather in, you cut the wheat, the wheat in a field, right? And then you scoop it into the blade, the curve of the blade, and bring it over to the cart where you're going to process it further. So I think that Harry and Meghan probably would like to um, be gathered in, we'll say, by Charles. I think that Harry certainly does not love the idea that there's bad blood between him and his father. So that's part of this decision to separate their work and for him to spend more time in England trying to mend fences with his father. Maybe not with his brother, but with his father. Um, I will say that I believe that Harry and Meghan are partners and they're good friends and they're loyal to each other. I can mirror this with the fourth card, which is the sun. So all is well in paradise to the extent that it ever is in any marriage. I think that they're good. Now, for the clarifier for the scythe, which is, sort of makes the case for why I'm saying focus on the curve gathering in as opposed to the blade, is that the clarifier for this scythe is the lily, right? Um, they want peace with Charles. This is the card for peace. Okay. Um, This is the partners that Harry and Meghan are in life. They're life partners. They love each other. How do I know? Clarifier is the heart. So no worries there. This marriage, it's our third card, our center card, the ring, will stand the test of time. This is longevity. I do think that they are aware that they needed to do some sort of transformational thing in the way that they navigate the world, which is why she's doing her thing, which, when she was just a royal, they weren't allowing her to do. So now she's doing her thing, he's doing his thing, and this will transform their lives in a really good way, I think. Um, And here is, I think, Charles, and we have the whip here. Of course, Charles is not thrilled that they left. Um, and there maybe need to be some hard conversations between them. I can mirror the very first card, which is the scythe with the whip. These are both tough energies. But, there is dissension in the larger family, um, between Meghan and Harry and the larger family. And these are things that I think they hope to work out. And Meghan wants her autonomy. She's an American after all. I mean, we don't operate the way they operate over in England. And I know I have English viewers, but someone coming from America and then becoming a member of the royal family may not have understood all that that entails because your duty is to the institution. Your personal life and desires and needs are secondary to service to the institution. And that is an unfamiliar uh, sort of philosophy of life for an American. It just is. And so it's created a lot of problems. But I think that they've come up with a really good solution. She does her thing, he does his thing. They meet where they meet. They raise their children together. They love each other. He helps her with her stuff. She helps him as she can. And I think they're fine. I do not think there is trouble in paradise. Uh, you know, we'll do one more. There is, oh, no, no, yeah, okay. So this one, all right, I was going to do a different one, but I'll save that for another time. This one is, someone did ask me to look at it a couple of videos ago, and I really appreciate you all leaving me questions in the chat because as I feel my cards can answer those questions and look at those issues, I'm happy to do that. This one, so I'm sure you heard that because Marjorie Taylor Greene made it known. Apparently, the Republicans, the House, has a slush fund, taxpayer um, subsidized. I mean, we pay for this. A slush fund to pay off accusers who accuse members of the House of sexual bad deeds, indiscretions. Yeah. So, they pay off people to stay quiet. I forget the amount, but it's kind of a lot. And I want to know if anything more is gonna come of that little slush fund situation. Because, you know, I mean, I've heard about it, but it's not been very widely talked about. Um, and news being what it is these days, a lot of things can be kept quiet if you just look at legacy, mainstream, corporate media. So I'm trying to okay, we'll use the fish because fish will stand for that slush fund, that money. Okay. Is more going to come of that? Is there going to be a problem with it? Which obviously there should be, but let's see. Will more come of that? Although I'm so nervous I can't even cut my deck. Okay, so we're looking for the fish. Oh, first card. Okay, so that means all the other cards will follow. Okay, this is interesting and it definitely deserves some clarifiers. Okay, so uh, we have the fish, the dog, the moon, the garden, and crossroads. All right, I think, remember, this is the card I was looking for. Normally, statistically, it'll be in the middle of the top line, which is where I want it to be. But whenever it's not, I'm like, well, that's interesting. Let's see what is. So this stands for the slush fund. Um, it's just a sort of a friendly thing that they have to help out their members in difficult, embarrassing situations. So this is, the part the slush fund is sort of a friendly perk that the Republicans give their members. Now, of course, the card in the middle is important. And look what we have, the moon. Now, why do they have the slush fund? to protect the reputations of the members by keeping stuff quiet. This is reputation. They don't want the bad deeds to be out in public. And I think with the fifth card here, they're going to try and obfuscate, distract, and just be look over here, no, over here, over here, and over here. And I think that they want the attention off of this slush fund. I also think if they can't do it one way, they'll do it another. They'll find some other way to help members caught up in these kinds of situations. Okay, so here we have the fish. This is the slush fund. And the clarifiers are the heart, the bouquet, and women. Maybe they really, it's about indiscretion and it's about sex, and it's a payment to keep women quiet. Um, you know, uh, they'll phrase it differently. They won't say that. They'll say something uh, like a member will say something like, I really love you, and when my term is finished, we can be together. But in the meantime, here's a little something to keep you quiet. That's what I think. Okay. Um, and then so we have the dog, and the clarifiers are coffin, child, and house. So again, these are, everybody apparently knows on the Republican side about this slush fund. They're all buddies and pals and friends and cronies, and this is what they do for each other. But they've wanted to keep it quiet. They still want to keep it quiet, keep it under wraps, keep it in a box, keep it locked up. Um, and to whatever extent it becomes known, they'll say something like, "Oh, that's nothing. It's just a little tiny amount to help them with, I don't know, whatever. It's not what you think it is." Let's talk about the White House, shall we? Again, they're going to try to confuse things. Okay, here we have this reputational card. Clarifiers are interesting. The cross, the clover, and the bear. So, this is reputation. They don't want their reputations messed up, destroyed. So they kind of put a Band-Aid on it and make it look pretty. But really, it's narcissism at its finest on a widespread spread level. And I think that they're worried about looking as narcissistic as they are. Now, fourth card in the original line was the garden. This is the public. And we have star, whip, and letter. I don't think this is the end of things. So this is the public. I think that there will be a lot of chatter about this. Maybe not in legacy media, but certainly on Midas Touch and some of the other places where people go for their news now, internet-based sources, and a lot of conversation about it, a lot of arguing about it, and discussion of whether there should be some sort of rule or regulation or law in place so that this doesn't happen. But again, I think that the Republicans will do a very good job of um, distracting people so that it kind of fades away and the situation for them gets better. Um, they have their agenda for government and they're just going to barrel through. Now, interesting because we have this young man card, and that's that young, randy, can't keep his pants zipped up energy. Sorry, YouTube. That obviously these members, get it, pardon the pun, are exhibiting. And they've learned money can buy silence. money can buy women for them. So, I mean, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. I think that people will try to make a big thing out of it, but then, you know what they'll do? They'll just do some sort of backdoor solution, which effectively is the same thing, that women will be paid, or men will be paid to keep quiet about their sexual indiscretions with members of the House. Ugh, I mean, we're entering kind of, well, not entering, we're in the middle of quite a gross era. I'll just, I'll just say. And that feels very much like it's part of it. So that's all I've got for us on a Friday night. I think that's enough. Um, please do like, share, subscribe, and absolutely leave questions for me in the chat. I'll be happy to look at the things that I think my cards can help with. Okay. And I'll see you soon. Take care.